Good morning. Thank you so much for being here. Today, I am talking about 9 ways to scale to $1 million in your consulting business while enjoying your life. So, thank you. Thank you for being here. I'm so grateful and honored. First of all, I would love for you to say hi. Just drop a comment and let me know that you're here. I love to connect with people that are on my live streams and get to know you and what you do. So, if you don't know who I am, my name is Ann Carden. I'm a top business growth strategist and coach, and I work with professional consultants, coaches to help them really scale into that $1 million or even more. But I help them do it with simplicity, having a simple business where they can work less and make more. So I am all about working part time or not working a lot of hours, not the hustle and grind, because for most people, they want freedom. And when I teach my clients how to build their business in the way that I teach them, that it gives them this freedom. So that's what I want to share with you today. There are lots and lots of ways to scale your consulting practice if you're solo. But let's dive into this. If you need any help scaling to $1 million or more, you can book a call with me at acarden.com. Let's get started. First of all, I want you to think about shifting your mindset and start thinking like a CEO instead of a consultant, because it's common for people to get into their consulting practice and they consider themselves like a doer, right? And so they're not thinking about building a business. And when you think about building a business, you have to really step into thinking like a CEO. Now, that doesn't mean you have to give up consulting. I'm not saying that, but you have to start making decisions like a CEO, and you have to start thinking about how can you take your business into the future, because for a lot of consultants, they're only as good as their last client. Their business is only as stable as their last client, or if they lose a client, they're struggling again. And so if you start thinking like a CEO, you can eliminate going out of business because you lose a client or two, and there are no limits to what you can achieve. And I hear a lot of people say, well, I don't need $1 million. I don't need to be a millionaire. No, you probably don't, right? But just imagine if you had it. Just imagine what you could do differently. Just imagine how different things would be if you hit that $1 million mark and even beyond. Because when you're in business, you're no longer an employee. You have opportunity to make as much money as you want. You have an opportunity to unlimited growth, right? But for a lot of people, they get stuck. They get stuck in being the doer, and they get stuck in like another job. So that's really what I want to talk about today: how to get yourself out of having a job and how to really start building a business, one that is going to be around for a long time. And a lot of things can even operate without you. Okay, so think like a CEO. All right, so the first thing is think about specializing. For a lot of consultants, they're doing a lot of different things for a lot of different types of clients, and it makes it really hard to get traction when this is your business model, because nothing really is rinse and repeat. It's hard to systemize things because you're always reinventing the wheel. But when you specialize, when you drill down and you really specialize in what you're going to be doing, it makes your business, number one, so much simpler. So, this is where you can get a lot of time and freedom back, because there will be a lot of things that will be rinse and repeat, a lot of things that you'll be doing over and over again. And so, this makes it easier to systemize things or even bring in someone to help you with certain areas. But when you're always doing custom work, when you're always reinventing the wheel, it's very, very difficult for you to let go of control of anything. And so everything falls on you, everything. But when you simplify your business and you specialize, number one, it's going to make your marketing a heck of a lot easier. And it's going to be able to establish expertise for you a lot easier. But it will also simplify your business in the fact that, number one, you're going to get so good at what you do that you're going to become so efficient at what you do, which means you'll be able to make more money with less time. But the other thing is, it will just make it simpler from the standpoint of being able to, again, systemize things or structure things in a way that your time is really leveraged. And so if you want to grow to that $1 million, you've got to think about, how can I leverage my time, and what are the ways that I can get time and freedom back so that I can work on the growth of my business and I don't have to be stuck in every weed, if this makes sense. Okay, so the first thing is specialize. The second thing is raise your prices. Are you charging by impact or by value? Or are you just treating yourself like an hourly employee and maybe charging by the hour? Or even if you're giving people a package price, you're still in your head charging by the hour instead of charging by the value or the impact. And this means, what is the impact that you are helping someone get? What is the impact or the value for what you are delivering to that client? And can that be worth a lot more money than what you're charging? In most cases, yes, you can probably 10 times what you're charging right now. So that's one way to grow, is if you were getting paid 10 times more, 3 or 5 or 10 times more, let's say, now you have grown your business, but you're not doing any more than what you were already doing. Is this making sense? All right. Type yes in the chat if you want to do these things. Type yes in the chat if this is making sense to you. I would love to get your feedback. Also, think about not being an extra pair of hands. And again, start thinking about, okay, how can I leverage my time? And so the third way is to become a strategic partner and get out of being the extra pair of hands, get out of doing all the stuff for them. So this is where you go in as an advisor or a strategic partner, and you're guiding them. Now you can build your own team on the back end of this if you choose to. So you can bring in your own team as a strategic advisor, or you can work with their teams as a strategic advisor. But either way, you're getting out of the actual doing. You're not personally doing all of the work. Okay, so that's the third way. The fourth way is, I already mentioned it, build a team to deliver. Now, you can also build a team to take certain things off of your plate. So if you're still doing the consulting, you can build a small team to do some of the work for you. So again, what are the things that you do over and over again that you can systemize, or you can bring in a team member to help you? Now, another thing that you can do is, if you don't know, or maybe you don't want to hire employees, or you don't want to have your own team that you're paying taxes on and things like that, you can build partnerships with people. So let's say, as a strategic advisor, you go in and you determine that they need something, but you don't do it. What if you have a partnership with someone? You can still bring them in on that job or on that engagement with you, but you are getting money over what they are getting paid. So they get paid their same amount, but you actually can add on to what they're getting paid. And now you can basically build a revenue stream that way too. So now you're not doing anything except bringing that person in. That person will deliver the work, but you are making money. You're making revenue off of that person. And again, it's not about them cutting their prices. You just add on. It's very much like, you're just adding profitability to what they're already doing. So this is another way. So this is the fourth thing, is build a team or bring in a partnership so that you can make money off of that, but you're not doing the work. Again, this is all about leveraging your time to be able to get your business to that $1 million or more. Is this okay? If any of these things are resonating and you want to be able to do these things and you need some help, you can book a call with me at acarden.com, and let's take a look at your business and see what your opportunities are and what aligns with you and what would be the best way for you to scale your business to $1 million. All right. We can map out that strategy for you. Okay. The fifth way, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. The fifth way is certifications and licensing. So let's say you create some sort of a product. You can now license that out as part of a scale method. And so now they're paying you to be able to license that from you. And now they're just using your content or your program or whatever it is that you have built out. and they get to use it maybe with their teams or their employees. That's one way to do it. The other way you can do it is you can actually let other consultants license your program and use your tools. We see this a lot with like Value Builder. If you look at Value Builder out there for business coaches, for example, they have proprietary tools and things that business coaches can buy into, and they're basically licensing those tools. So you can also do the same thing. The next thing is productize something. So this is where you have something that you're really good at. You've delivered it over and over again, and you can now turn that into some sort of a product. Now, this can be similar to the certification or the licensing, but this one you can just sell. And so now you've got a product that you can just sell. So what is one thing that you do over and over again that is very easy for you that you could easily turn into a product? Now, I do want to give you a warning about this, though. A lot of people use this strategy to scale, and what they don't realize is you need a lot of traffic to sell a product. All right. And so think about this, because you're either going to have to probably run paid ads, you're going to have to build a big audience, a big email list, and you're going to have to do a lot of work to build up traffic so that you can sell your product. And this is what a lot of people don't tell you, and they make it sound like just build out this product and you'll be able to scale your business. Well, in theory, that sounds great, and yes, you absolutely can, but there are a lot of hidden things in there that people don't tell you, and that is that the product needs to be priced high enough so that if you run advertising, you will be able to pay for the advertising and also make money with the product. The other thing they don't tell you is that you have to have a lot of traffic and a big audience. And so these are things that I don't sugarcoat anything. I tell you the way it is. And so these are things that a lot of people don't realize. So if you are going to productize something, I personally recommend that this is something that you do when you are in a very strong place financially. So maybe you're at that $500,000 or even above that range, and now you've got money to actually maybe build out a small marketing team to help you sell that product. And so a lot of people call that passive income, passive income. Well, it is in a sense that you create it and then you can run it over and over and over again, but it is still going to take money or funds or a team thrown behind that to make it very successful for it to even be passive income. So I hope this helps you. All right. The next thing is JV partnerships, where you are white labeling their services. So I have done this all throughout my coaching and consulting career and business. I did it when I worked with small business owners. I would white label partnerships. And so if, let's say, a small business owner needed a website, I had a partner for that. And then I built revenue streams off of that. And so not only could I refer really great people to my clients, so they didn't have to go out and try to figure out who to get to do different things. I had partnerships and I would bring those people in, and then I would have new revenue streams. And so everything was very aligned with what my core business was. I didn't have to go out and sell myself 50 different ways, but I had these partnerships. And so this is another really great way for you to scale without doing more. And it can really help you take your business to those much higher levels. So think about this as well. But again, just a warning here, you want to build out partnerships with things that are going to already be a natural fit. So you bring in a client and you know that they're going to need this, but that's not something that you do, then that would be a perfect place to build a partnership so that you could still deliver those things to your clients, or you could refer that person to your client and you trust that person, and it just takes all of that off your plate. It also will help the results become faster with your clients when you can help them with the right, when you can give them the right people that they need, when you have a network of resources and you can give those resources to them, because you're going to cut all that time off that they have to go out and look for someone. And we know that going out and looking for someone, sometimes you can kiss a lot of frogs right before you get to the prince. But if you just bring the prince in, it's going to make it so much easier. So what do you think about this? Are these things making sense? Let me know. Put $1 million if you want to scale your consulting business to $1 million. All right. The next thing is work with teams versus individuals. So again, thinking about how can I do a one to many? What is a one to many approach that I can use to scale? So one way to think about this is, let's say that you have become so successful in consulting or so successful in what you do, you can actually teach other people what it is you've done. You can actually teach your trade or teach your tricks or teach your system to other people. And so now you become more of a coach and a trainer, and you can do a one to many approach this way. And I do this now. I used to work with small business owners. Now I work mainly with people with coaching and consulting businesses, professional service businesses, and I help them be able to grow their business because I've already learned how to do it for myself. And so now it makes sense to be helping them. And you can do the same thing. And this could be with just something that you're very, very good at, that you have really mastered, and you can teach that to people, or you can teach an entire system to people. It comes down to what have you been able to do in your business, and now how can you teach that to others? Because that can be a next step. I always say learn, do, teach. Learn, do, teach. Because once you learn how to do something and you become so efficient at it and so good at it because you've done it, now your next step to really growth and scaling is to start teaching it to other people. And so let's say, for example, you are in tech, you're uh, an advisor, or you're a consultant in tech, and you've learned some things in tech, you could teach those tech skills to other people so that they can either maybe get better jobs or they could go consult. So there's lots of ways to structure this. All right. So think about how can you leverage your time and teach other people what you know, but also work with a one to many approach. So you could teach this in a group. So that's another way. Also, building a firm. Now, this probably is something that you've maybe thought about, but maybe you decided not to do it. But building a firm is another way to get all of that off your plate. And now it starts getting outsourced to people that are in your firm. You can also bring in firm partners where they, again, do areas of expertise that you don't have. And now you become like this one-stop shop. So these are all ways to scale to $1 million, or even beyond, even much bigger, millions of dollars if you choose. It really comes down to what are the things that most excite you and what are the things that most align with you. But remember, it starts with thinking like a CEO instead of thinking like a consultant. It starts with start thinking about building a business versus building a job and staying in a job. I see so many consultants that stay in a job. They're still doing the same thing maybe years later. And this isn't growth. And if you're okay with that, I mean, that's fine. There's no one size fits all for anyone, but I just want to open your mindset and expand your mind to what is truly possible because you've been able to accomplish something. And now you've got opportunities to really scale and grow. And there are so many ways, so many ways. This is just scratching the surface, but these are my 9 favorite ways to help consultants scale. So I hope you found this valuable. Let me know. I would love to get your feedback. Tell me what you think. Share this with someone else who needs to hear it as well. And if you do nothing else, I hope that you will at least raise your prices and start charging by value or impact. That can give you significant growth. I hope you start thinking like a strategic advisor. And I hope that you specialize. Those 3 things alone can help you probably double your business from where you are. And then if you do these other things on top of it, and maybe you don't even have to do all these other things. If you do the first 3 things in the right way, you might be able to get to that $1 million with just those few things. So there's lots of ways that you can scale. But if you don't think like this, it's not likely it's going to happen that you get to $1 million. So I hope you found this valuable. Let me know your thoughts. And again, if you need some help doing this, you can book a call with me at acarden.com. Let's take a look at your business. Let's look at what you're doing, and let's look at what your opportunity is and where you can take your business. And if you're looking for some help to do that, I can't wait to talk to you. So you have an amazing day. Let me know your thoughts. I will talk to you next time. God bless you. Bye-bye.